Greetings to everyone. So today we are going to start our unit 5 about the Prevention and Control of Pollution Acts. Okay. So in this we are going to first start with Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act, which was introduced in 1981. So how do we prevent and control air pollution? Through different acts given by the government. So, Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981 was to power to declare air pollution control areas. So, state government, after consultation with the state board by notification, can declare any area as air pollution control area. So, such area can be added, deleted, or altered by notifications. Okay. So, state government can prohibit burning of any material in such areas if it is likely to cause air pollution. Okay. So, they have to approve the fuel which is to be used in that area. Okay. Then appliance to be used for burning of any fuel. Such approval of the fuel or appliance can be given by the state board. Okay. So these should be considered or remembered by the individual, okay, for burning of any items. Okay. Now, power to give instructions for ensuring standards for emission from automobiles. So this is the thing that there should be some instructions for ensuring the standards. If standards are not given, then the emissions from the automobiles will be high. Okay. Then this Control Act also says that there are some restrictions on use of certain industrial plants. Okay. So no person can establish any industry in the air pollution control area which is declared by the state government. Okay. So he has to already wherever there is operating industry in that control area, he can take up on that and can be used. Okay. Right. Then we have responsibility of the persons. So this comes under individual. Okay. So the person who wants to establish or operate any industrial plant has to move an application for consent of the board accompanied by prescribed fees in a prescribed form and within the particular of the industrial plant and the other particulars may be prescribed. Okay. So then responsibility of the state board. Then they will see the conditions, whatever are there prevailed in that area, and then they will give the consent. Okay. Then responsibility of the person whom consent has been guaranteed. So if the consent has been guaranteed, granted by the agency, then it is the responsibility of the citizen, that is the individual who is going to apply that for the company. He has to see that all the rules have been followed. Okay. Then he has to establish like chimneys, okay, so etc. He has to provide all the facilities. Then the monitoring committee is also there, so they will monitor the uh, situations prevail in that area. Okay. So there is monitoring done by the state board, that is the state government. So they will give the official gazette upon persons having prescribed qualifications to the government analysts for the purpose of analysis of samples of air or emission. Then state board's power to give directions. So they have to give some directions for the individuals to set up a company. Then coming to the funds, accounts and audits. So how they are done. So it is the contribution by the central government. So in financial year, such contributions to state boards as it may think necessary to enable the state board to perform their functions under this act. Okay. So central government also has the responsibility. Then borrowing powers of board. So a board may, with the consent of or in accordance with the terms of any general or special authority given to it by the central government, borrow money from any source by the way of loans or issue of bonds, then debentures or such other instruments as it may deem fit for discharging all or any functions of its under this act. Then annual report is generated. Then accounts and audits are done. Okay. Then these are done by the state government as well as central government. Then penalties and procedures. So what are the penalties and the procedures? So non-compliance penalties are given. Okay, that is around 1 year and 6 months, but which may extend to 6 years and with fine also. In the case failure continues, okay, with additional fine which may extend to 5,000 rupees for every day during which such failure continues after the conviction for the first such failure. Then penalty for the contravention of provisions of this act. So if anyone contradicts it, then he has to pay a fine of 10,000 rupees or 3 months imprisonment or both. Then cognizance of offences, what is done in it. Okay, so it goes under the jurisdiction of the judicial magistrate or metropolitan magistrate. Okay. Then bar of jurisdiction. So all this accompanies. Okay. Then the attention, that is the Aid Act, is beneficial legislation which is enacted for the purpose of proper maintenance of nature and health of the public at large. So they have to maintain the health of the public as well as they have to maintain the nature. That is why this Aid Act was given. Okay. So this is about the Aid Act. Now coming to the Water Act. So Water Prevention and Control Pollution Act was given in 1974. Okay. So actually this act was enacted by Parliament Act, that is 1974, to provide prevention of control of water pollution and maintaining or restoring of wholesomeness of water. As on date, it is applicable in all the states of India. So the objectives of Water Pollution Prevention and Pollution Control Act are, that is prevention and control of water pollution, then maintaining or restoring the wholesomeness of the water, that is whatever properties that water has, it has to be restored. Then establishment of board for prevention and control of water pollution. Okay, so all these are the objectives of the Water Act. Then application and commencement. So it has to see whether there is pollution, sewerage, effluent, trade effluent, occupier, outlet, stream, etc. Okay. Then pollution, already all of us know what is pollution. It is the contamination of water by physical, chemical, or biological properties of water. Then discharge of effluents, right, sewerage or industrial, anything which makes water very harmful for the agriculture, because we use water in various ways, right? So it is very, very useful for us, right? Then functions. So the functions of central board. So it may delegate any of its function under this act to any of the committees appointed by it. So committees are being appointed to see that this act gets applied to each and every state. Then functions of the state board. So they have been prescribed in section 17 of this act. Then state pollution control board have that is confined themselves only to grant consents to the industries. Okay. So there should be zero discharge without ensuring whether this condition could be met or complied by the industry. Example, we have this Ganga action plan. Okay. So we know that the government has established the Ganga Project Directorate in June 1985, but there at that time work was not done so progressively, but now they are very much concerned with this project. Then we have this financial profile, etc. Okay. So this is about the Water Control and Prevention Act. Okay. So Main, we have to think that the objectives are to prevent and control the water pollution, okay, and maintain the wholesomeness of water, and then a team or committee members have been, that is, a board has been established to see all these things. So this is about Air and Water Act. Then in next class we'll see about Forest and Wildlife Acts. Okay, thank you.